So the other day I was driving down the street. Actually, it wasn't the other day. It was a long time ago. But there was this guy in front of me in a Jeep. I think he was drunk. He kept getting out of the car over and over and over again. While no, I'm dead
he got
serious.
back in?
He would no. He would get out, pull up his pants, look around like he lost something, and then get back in. At every red light I went to, and I just happened to be following him the whole time.
Was he the driver?
Yeah, he was a fucking driver. There was nobody else in the car.
That's not.
I'm like, did you lose your phone? Like
He left a meth lab.
he left
lost
it in his car.
meth lab.
Oh
Aw,
man,
poor guy.
that guy's a baguette. Hey, speaking of baguettes, this is the Don't Look Under the Bed podcast, the podcast all things comedy and horror. I'm one of your lovely hosts, Dan Wonder. Next to me is my sister.
Natalie Rose.
Next to her is,
I'm Vinny Rose.
and we are the Don't Look Under the Bed podcast. And that is a true story. It was crazy. I didn't
How long
think
did that happen for?
for at least a couple streets, and then even more than that because like again he kept getting out of the car. So at some point he would get out of the car at the green light.
Oh,
But he would pull up his pants. He was this old dude, like white hair. He looked like a Bobby Knight.
What
Oh,
would have been
shit.
great is if you
did you
could
throw a
have,
chair?
if you could have found a way to throw like a buck down so he'd find it each time.
He's like, son of a bitch.
The rest of his life, he would stop at every single light.
That's like his good luck charm. If
Did
I
you
stop
call
at this
the-
red light,
Did you call the cops?
nope,
Oh no,
I'm not a good Samaritan.
no, he's probably killed someone. Speaking of killing,
Oh, what do we got today, Natalie?
today we're going to do a vintage true crime, good stuff. French serial killing lady named Jean Weber.
Sounds like an old love song.
French serial killing
lady.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You're gonna strangle the love out of me.
Ooh.
Got the choker, yeah.
That's actually what she does. She strangles the love
That
and
bitch.
life. Yeah, she's not a good person, so we can definitely make fun of her.
So, Vinny, you want to do the disclaimer before we do this?
Yeah, I will. I'll start this off by saying that this is a comedy podcast. It's meant to be funny. We do cover a lot of true crime and horror and
Some
stuff.
shit.
And there are some victims out there, and
Yeah.
we're not going to make fun of the victims.
No,
but,
it's not about that.
Everything surrounding the victims in these stories are fair game.
Especially this old whore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this old bitch.
This old French cunt. Whoa. Sorry. Bump the brakes, kids.
Easy,
She-
easy. Well, she's dead, so we can make fun of her.
She is. But before we get into that, though.
Brings me to my next point. This should probably be an adults only podcast, 18 and
yeah.
over.
And this is the only time we're not going to say it.
And if you have tender ears, it's cool.
Tender ears.
Tender hearts.
Wanna strangle the love out
Tender
of you.
hearts like the Care Bear.
Yeah, tender heart is cool.
Care Bear
Did I hit the
stare.
octave right? So before we start, though, I do have an email from one of our listeners. His name is Jarek Vickers.
We already got an email?
Yeah.
Yay!
Nice.
We got an email.
What?
We're so popular.
His name is Jarek Vickers at CompuServe.com. I don't think that's right. It's probably an alias. Anyway,
Nigerian scam.
he says, hello, apostrophe D-Lub. Don't look under the bed. That's what that stands for.
Oh,
Yeah, it's cute, isn't it? D-Lub.
Jarek.
You gotta love the love. Anyway, the first podcast was talking exorcisms, and it got me thinking of a possible demon and or apparition that may be haunting my old home.
Can
There
you do our
is.
listeners a favor and read this like Casey Kasem?
Of course. And he writes, it started off as a simple thing here or there that I could have easily passed off as anything I could have just imagined. However, there was this one time my dog was barking at the wall, and then my cupboard slammed shut. The dog ran, and my instinct was to stop what I was doing and investigate. I didn't stop making me laugh. I didn't find anything out of the ordinary and went to sleep only to awake to a harsh voice in the hallway and something falling off the counter. It was a plate.
Oh, is that the sound effect that it's? Is that what kind of plates do you buy? Do you go to IKEA and buy like stone plates?
Drywall plates.
Okay.
It was a plate that broke and fell on the floor. More things like this happened over the time spent in that home, and I eventually moved, never to hear or see those things again. Scoob.
Could my?
Yeah, you turn right into Shaggy.
Well, he was him. That's him.
Coming in at number
Casey
23.
Kasem. Yeah, Casey Kasem did Shaggy. He did a bunch of like shitty Hanna-Barbera because I hate Hanna-Barbera
I do too.
cartoons. They're just not funny. How many
They're
fucking
not.
doors are you gonna walk
They're
past?
not funny.
Could my house be
know.
a candidate?
Candidate for an exorcism? You decide. Love, Jarek Vickers.
He said love.
No, he don't love us.
He might.
That motherfucker don't.
He was the first
love me.
person to email
called
us,
us
so he
D-Love?
might love us.
He might. Jarek, we thank you for your email, and I only have this to say. You probably were just imagining things. What did the voice sound like, though?
Hey, everybody, I'm a big scary ghost. Ooh.
Well, it could have been that, or it could have been.
What's your ghost sound
What's
like,
the ghost
Natalie?
sound like, Natalie? You can't do it now. That's okay. The ghost. I don't think it was a demon. I think that he was just imagining shit. Dogs bark at stuff all the time. Your dog barks at
Oh my
everything.
god, she barks.
And
at everything.
nothing.
Yeah, she barks at the
dust
wall.
particles. She's like.
No, it's loud.
So I don't think it was a ghost. I'm glad you got out of there though.
Now, can you also, while you're in the spirit, count down the 10 pop songs?
Of the week.
Yeah.
Andy writes, Dear Casey, this is. Please play that song on my faithful wedding night with my old wife. So here you go, Jared. It's Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Doom, 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 doom. Yeah.
Oh, my God, Becky.
Look at that ghost. So
I'm a ghost.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Plate fell off the floor. fell off the floor. Whoa.
Where did it go?
Topsy turvy world. Plate fell on the floor, crashed, cupboard slamming. That
Yep.
shit is like
It
Ghost
happened.
101.
Unlevel house.
A good
No.
foundation
Well,
needed.
What's his name?
The ghost?
Jared,
No, the
Ghosty
the
McGhostface?
emailer.
Jarek Vickers.
Jarek Vickers. I suggest you take a tape measure. Make sure all 4 of your table legs are the same length.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
Where'd you think I was
Where
going
was
with
it
that?
The long ghost. No. Never mind. Doesn't matter. It's okay. Never
I don't
mind.
like it. I don't like
I
it.
don't like this. I don't know, Natalie. What do you think? Cupboard slamming, plate fall on the floor, Ghost 101.
could have been.
I just don't understand why they always got to go to dishware. Why can't they just? Why can't they wrap up the hose outside or something? Like do something useful.
productive.
Bring our garbage cans in.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mary. Hello, Algorth. How are you
If you-
doing today?
If you see a green garbage can, we're missing one.
Fucking
I put it
garbage
out
ghost
this
coming
morning,
around, taking
and
my
when
garbage
I got home,
cans.
it was gone.
I told you
So,
I didn't do that.
It's gone. If you see our green garbage can anywhere, listeners, please return
It's
it
a
to us.
Binford tool.
Nope,
Binford.
it's not.
Oh.
Home improvement.
I don't think so, Tim.
Anyway, I don't think it was a ghost. I'm glad you got out of the house.
I think it was a ghost.
Last thing you
should have
need-
stayed there and gave us a better story.
Whoa! Shots fired. So yeah, we're gonna move on from that on to our story for today, which is a true crime, right, Allie?
Yes. Yep.
And we like true crime, although
I do.
don't
This
think
is an old ass true
I
crime.
don't
Yeah.
think that you should say you like true crime, though.
No, I
love
do.
true crime.
I
I love when
learning
people get
about-
murdered.
I love learning about true crime. Like, I don't love that it happened.
But if it didn't happen, you wouldn't love it.
I like the way that people look at me when you start telling about this murders.
With that smile on your face,
Like
Oh
little-
yeah,
the
like
little
when we're out to
twinkle.
dinner with people.
you reach over their salad and just start
I
talking
will
to
because
them.
where were we? And they were like, "Oh yeah, we're from Wisconsin." I'm like, you have the best murders there.
Yeah, we were in Jamaica actually at our wedding.
Yes, at our wedding. And I was like, there
guys are
was
married?
people were like, "Yep, still married.
Oh,
It's been
God.
a month and a half.
That
We're doing it,
sucks.
guys. We're going
6
for
weeks
it.
of bliss.
6 weeks
We're
of
in
piss.
Jamaica
Pump
in
the
this
brakes,
beautiful
kids.
paradise, and you get to know people at the resort, and we're talking.
Frank on beans.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. And these people at the resort were like, "Oh, we're from Wisconsin and whatnot." And,
Is
and
that
I'm like,
like-
"You guys have the best murders there." And they didn't want to talk
They
to us
li-
anymore.
They lifted their plates and was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah,
Omaha
we
people
were
are
at the
fucking
pool bar,
weird.
and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get a drink over at this other bar." So we'll see.
Drive away.
We're just gonna go over here, then we'll see you guys later. Whatnot.
You guys want to come with
back.
us? You're just
Come
looking at
back.
their like the smoke cloud that they've left behind.
They do though, man. They got some doozies. So, but people just look at you like, "What?"
But this one doesn't take place in Wisconsin. This one takes place in
France,
France.
France,
Oh, Paris.
France.
The Good Place is what they call it,
Is it?
from what
That's
I've
a
heard.
good show. Do you watch The Good Place?
God damn it!
It's pretty funny.
It sounds like it. I just Ted Danson. I don't know. Just not a fan of his. Like that's the one reason why I don't watch it.
Oh, give it a whirl.
So the home of
Okay.
the home of baguettes,
Home of Baguettes
Home of
and
Wine.
the people that gave us the Statue of Liberty.
and one of the best freaky gore movies, which is called High Tension. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
Holy shit!
Do you have it?
You can look, you can get it on Amazon. You can find it anywhere. It's a great great flick.
Maybe we can do it for an episode.
Yeah.
It's super super gory.
So I've never
I
been
like
to
gory.
France. I love their
No.
toast.
No.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into
Let's have a
this,
discussion
guys.
about this
So
later.
this one's pretty. It's got some bads to this. She was not
Nice
a
person.
treat.
No, she's a
She
fucking
was,
piece of shit.
Yeah, she was not a good person. So, like I said, French serial killer. She was born in the year 1874, October 7th to be exact. And now there's conflicting stories about her. I did a lot of research, went through many websites. You know, it's hard to see on what's on the internet, what's true, what's not.
Right.
It's, you know, you get what you get sometimes, especially for this time in, you know,
Because of the
in life.
record keeping
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. So
Which
we're-
wasn't that bad, but
it wasn't terrible, but it's, you know, it's probably not like it is today.
what about them doctors though?
These doctors, holy fuckballs.
Yeah, you have to wonder like what the real requirements were because back then I don't know. Like now, at least you have to have a PhD and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
What's
And
going to stop someone from just hanging a sign on a
And
hut
are
somewhere?
you down
like,
with OPP?
yeah,
Are you down with OPP?
just hanging their sign up like, "Hey, I'm a doctor."
Hi, everybody.
I'm not a
What's doctor, his but I'll name?
take a
Dr. Nick.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
What if isn't my old friend Mr. McGregor with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg? God damn it, Nick. But anyway, more about these doctors in a bit because they are some fucking quacks.
Yeah, they are full stupid.
Or just uneducated.
I
you
have
know?
no
I don't
medical
know.
training. And
By
I
product of their environment.
Anybody with a
Probably-
good saw could have been a doctor.
A saw and a dolly.
yeah.
Take this part
Well,
off right
I'd
here.
say money or funding from a rich person that was kind of into the maybe trying to
sponsor?
prolong life. Yeah, because I remember seeing that on documentaries and history shows of people always trying to prolong life, and so they pay these people that say, "Oh, I can do it," and then they're doing all these crazy ass autopsies and stuff. So, like you said, it probably didn't take much back then to set up shop and be like, "Oh, I can fix you. Just pay me the money to do so." But like I said, this is from France, so there's probably going to be some bad pronunciations.
Yeah, you
of
can send your
names.
corrections to corrections at don'tlookunderthepodcast.com.
Don't look under the bed podcast at gmail.com.
What did I say?
Not that.
Nothing good.
Yeah.
I need to get a t-shirt that says "Don't look under the podcast," and you guys are wearing the bed ones, and I'm like, ah. Every time I wear this,
What if
I
someone's
messed
power went out
up.
right after that, and they're gonna go email them? They're gonna be like, "That Dan's fucking stupid."
They never
These
reply
guys
back to
dumb.
my email. I always get that domain error. It's bullshit.
Mailer demon.
What is this?
mailer team.
Well, it is a
That's
horror
an exorcist for
podcast, so it's
email.
probably right.
You go to like the Geek Squad, and you're like, I got a mailer demon. Can you exercise it? And he's sitting there like, dude, it's just
Somebody call Bob Larson. Anyways,
That
all
son
right.
of a bitch.
All
So,
right,
Sean-
let's get into this here. She
Son of
was
a
born,
bitch.
like I said, October 7th, 1874. Born in northern France in a small fishing village. I could not find a town name.
Yeah, they don't have the town name in there. It's weird.
They didn't, but they
You
do
think-
for all the other ones. So I don't know if there's just no record. Maybe there wasn't a town name. Maybe she never disclosed
And
it.
maybe it was just a village. It wasn't an established
It's-
Yeah.
settlement or town.
Yeah,
yet.
Yeah.
it says small fishing village in western France. And from what I know about France is it's in the west. So go ahead.
She moved to. Yep. She moved to Paris
Petty.
at the age of 14 in 1888.
Oh,
So
sorry.
that's when they were building the
Salty.
Eiffel Tower. So good for her. She worked random jobs to pay for her baguettes and her bills and all that. A few years later,
Racist. It's almost racist.
she was hungry. You gotta eat.
Baguettes.
Escargot.
Like that's not the only thing they have there.
Escargot.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. You corrected yourself.
Yes.
And toast.
And fries.
And poached eggs.
Poached eggs. Oh, I love poached eggs. God's sure. She got married at the age of 19.
Way
so
too old.
Probably for
What the-
then.
Yeah.
I would say probably
Yeah,
for
at
then.
least 14, 15.
Yeah.
Like that's just how.
Is there
Well,
a
when you
picture of
come
her?
into-
Like, was she attractive?
No,
No,
she looked
this
like
is
the
what she
fucking
looked like.
woman from Goonies, the
Yeah.
old lady. And from
What's
throw
her
mama,
name?
throw
From
mama from the
Goonies?
train.
That's your favorite
Oh,
movie.
Miss Fatelli.
Miss.
Miss Fertility.
Get those boys.
It's like half Cartman,
We only serve tongue around here.
Wasn't she? Didn't they want ice cream or something? She told him to go to the basement or.
Go to the basement, get some ice cream for the
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
It's like Sling Blade and Carmen mixed together.
She was scary.
French
Like-
fried potatoes.
Same lady in Throw Mama from the Train.
Yeah.
Owen, you stupid boy. I had a dream about Louis Armstrong again.
Coming, Mama.
Mama, I can't throw Mama from the train.
I never seen that movie.
I want to get real weird with it.
It's a great movie.
You're just mashing it, Mama.
I like. Is Sylvester Stallone in Throw Mom from the Train?
No, it's that's Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Stop My Mom Will Shoot.
Um,
I knew he was in a movie with Mom.
Holy shit.
And who was the mom in that?
B. Arthur.
B. Arthur.
Or
No, Estelle Getty.
Estelle Getty, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I knew that one.
I like just repeating what she says.
Billy
I think I'm
Billy
right.
Crystal was in.
Yeah.
in,
We're not going to throw Mama from the train. That's not going to happen.
Criss Cross.
Applesauce.
Applesauce. I didn't
Crisscross
see it.
applesauce.
Okay, so age 19,
God, we got way off track.
got married in 1893.
Yeah.
So, coming up on that 1900s.
She wanted to know what love was.
Baby, don't hurt me.
I'ma
Husband was
need
a
you.
drinker, and I looked it up, and the big drinks back then were, can you guess?
Absinthe.
And?
Wine.
Vodka.
No.
Nope, that's
well,
Russia.
probably, say in Russia, and I would assume the U.S. Probably by now.
Whiskey was a big thing in the U.S. in the 19th century.
What about vodka? What do you think
Vodka
it's
was
area?
more Eastern European. I mean,
Vodka.
it's vodka is literally translated as water
You know they drink a lot of wine
without the K.
Probably
or with
mead.
the K. What?
Probably
Mead.
Mead. I
This
would
isn't
think.
this
I
is
don't-
the 12th century.
We had mead the other day.
Yeah,
Did you meet it?
I didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
Does it?
I thought he would
Is
because
it
he
bitter?
does.
It just tastes
No,
like
it's
wine.
really, really, really sweet. He had like 4 different kinds, and he didn't.
I've
Like
never had mead.
It's really, really, really.
Not a big beer
sweet
drinker, though,
wine.
so-
It doesn't,
It doesn't taste like beer
It's a
at all.
wine. It's like tastes like a
Yeah,
wine.
but I'm not really a big beer drinker, so why would
That
I
has nothing to do with me. All right, so Bud Light mead for Dan. Oh, can I get a round of Bud Light mead?
You want a
she-
glass of chocolate milk, Dan? No, I hate Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
I
you
like,
just
I
said
just
there.
go into a bar and be like, can I get some mead, please? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And you're like, mead. I need it right now.
Can I get a picture of it? It says right there it's on special. Bud Light.
Mead for what cures for what ails you. Moving forward, so
Oh,
Jean Weber is her
yes.
name.
She started her murdering spree in the year of 1905. So she was married for a few years, and then she started going crazy. I'm assuming because
Crazy-ass
she
bitch.
started drinking as well.
Yeah, the
And
absinthe.
the absinthe is probably setting in, and
I wonder if she did any drugs.
I don't. What do you think the drug was? back
Ultimately,
Opiate.
absinthe was
Opiate?
a drug. There was
yeah,
a
well, it was-
drug
Yeah.
in
yeah,
it.
drug-like
Yeah.
tendencies, right? I mean, that was like wormwood. That was
Smoking weed with her big friends,
yeah, sure. She hit the
Blunts.
pipe and then did her murders.
rolling blunts.
Nothing speeds up the murder trial like fucking doing pot.
Well, she was a manipulative sociopath. So she could literally.
You got really mad at yourself.
I
there.
did because I can't say that damn word.
Sociopath.
So sometimes I have trouble with words. I'm like Ricky.
Perfectionist.
And I got
Steven?
word issues. So her first murder was
Okay.
on March 2nd
Yeah.
of 1905.
Uh-huh.
She was babysitting for her sisters-in-law.
Don't fucking trust her.
Well, they did because she's been a perfect little angel, I'm assuming, since for up to that point, other than maybe her drinking. As babysit your kids. Come to my house. When one of the two kids, the 18-month-old Georgette, sweet baby, fell ill and died all of a sudden.
Sucks.
I know. That's so young. That's too young. Strange bruises on her neck were ignored by the examining physician.
Yeah, it's got to be Captain Crunch.
No,
Cuts
that
cuts your
probably
throat up
wasn't.
pretty bad.
That or those damn pork rinds.
When do you think
Goddamn
Captain
pork
Crunch
rinds.
came out? Do you think it came out in 1905?
Why don't you not question my methods?
Well, I'm just curious when you think this kind of cereal came out.
It's old as
Can you please look up when Captain Crunch came out?
clickety clack
You
clack
got
clack.
that. You got the internet, the World Wide Web.
1736.
That was actually perfect timing with the ching.
No, really, look that up. Anyways, while he's looking that up, we'll continue.
He's an old captain.
So
Sorry.
what? No.
But he wears the hat.
And that cereal did get soggy in milk. That box was bullshit
That
because they
fucking-
used to claim that never get the soggies would come and they were like the milk creatures.
Captain Crunch is the worst cereal in the world. Let's just put that
I
out
love
there.
Captain Crunch.
No.
It does hurt the roof of my mouth, but it's so good. Peanut butter Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch is a product
not a
line
fan.
of corn and oat breakfast cereals introduced in 1963.
Okay, so
Fuck.
she went
I was way off.
forward in time, got the Captain Crunch, and came
She's
back
Quantum
in
Leap?
time. Yep.
Ziggy says you got to go back in time and put some Captain Crunch in some children's throats.
Oh boy.
I don't know why that sounded like most is like, but there you go.
And then she said, "Oh boy."
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'm
So
retarded?
once again, first off, the strange bruises on the kid's neck were ignored by the examining physician.
course.
We're going to hear that a lot.
Yeah.
So second murder was on March 11th. So just a few days later, because that first one was March 2nd. Now we're on March 11th. The other kid that was there when she was babysitting little Georgette, named a 2-year-old named Susan. She was
Susan.
murdered the same fashion, same bruises on the neck and everything, and the doctor blamed that one on convulsions.
Jesus.
So you have 2 kids and same symptoms, same everything, ignoring the bruises, and we're blaming on the same thing within a week of each other or so. Third death. Babysitting her brothers, for her brother on March 25th, little Jermaine suffered a sudden choking attack with red marks on her throat. She survived. Yay. Only to die the next day.
Way to let me down.
I know, sorry. Because Weber came back
Weber came back
the very next day.
the very next day.
Not like the Cat in the Hat. And finished the deed, basically. But this death was blamed on diphtheria.
Which was pretty common around that time. But like this says though, they were saying, well, the bruises on their neck, stifling does not look like that diphtheria. And maybe they didn't have enough research or education back then to know that, but diphtheria has like a gray and white marks that it leaves on the neck, not stifling, which is usually red, blue bruising from where the blood vessels broke.
So Dan remembers the physician's desk reference from the 1600s, but does not know when Captain Crunch came out.
It's because it's a disgusting cereal, and I stand by my
It's
statement.
not
Delicious.
disgusting.
It's
What
disgusting.
about peanut butter, Captain Crunch?
I asked
She
him
just
that. He
fucking said that.
no.
I hated it too. It didn't taste like peanut butter.
What about Christmas Crunch Berries?
All right, I'll do those. But I
Did
want
you
to throw
love
out the squares. The little pillows. I hate those.
You know you can just get Crunch Berries now?
Yeah.
Yeah, oops, all
Yeah.
crunch berries. Like the
They're
guy,
delicious.
like some guy at the factory was like, oops, I poured them all in the vat.
You, sir, are getting a raise.
They fired me from the M&M company for throwing out all the W's.
When I started this company, Captain Crunch, it was a rickety old slave ship with all berries in mind, and I didn't think my grandson would fuck it up this much to put them all in the same vat. But goddamn it, you did, Bobby, and you made me a millionaire.
That's the
Was
story.
that Captain Crunch himself?
No, it was Bobby G. Jensen.
That was General Mills.
Senior. That guy's. We got to talk about that on a podcast.
Who?
The dude, Dr. Kellogg.
Really?
Yep, we're gonna be talking about that soon
Oh.
because it is fucked up.
All right. I'm in.
There's a lot of urban myth shit around it, but anyway,
Ooh.
we'll get
well,
to that
hey,
later.
that's what part of this podcast is. Not just true crime and all that. We got all kinds of things.
I love true crime.
Oh my gosh.
It's
my
so good.
favorite.
Do you like it when they're murdered in their face?
They're murdered till they die from it.
Where'd you go?
Why aren't you my friend no more?
Let's
I
be
thought-
friends.
I thought we were gonna really
Excited. Woo.
Hashtag love a good murder.
Vance, we lost another couple friend because of me. 3. All right, the fourth murder.
God damn it.
Yeah, this keeps going. This keeps going.
Keeps going.
Grab yourself a hot cocoa and a blanket. This keeps going. Get all
I want a hot
snuggled in.
cocoa, please.
There's nobody bringing him a hot cocoa.
Make that too.
Or another hot cocoa. There's no one bringing that. Martin. You got another one?
Sorry. Good.
March 29th, she went ahead and killed her own son. So
Jesus.
not killing the nieces no
Now, was
more.
this the son with her husband, the
Yeah.
absinthe drinker?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She killed him, and they once again blamed diphtheria. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's diphtheria.
Yes.
Okay, just make sure.
Diphtheria.
The strangulation marks were
Diphtheria.
all so ignored.
Strangle them. Sorry. That was rude. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The strangulation marks were once again ignored.
Yeah. Over and over and
So
over
these
again.
physicians, I think I already know the problem. They need glasses.
They should have gone to Sears.
Did
Doctor.
they have an optometrist in Petty
Petty.
in the 1900s?
Then they... No, they didn't create the...
Doctor, what's wrong with me? Well, you have dip.
That's so stupid.
I'm all right. No, you're not. You're dead.
Dip, yeah.
Oh my god.
I think there's a band called Diphtheria.
Really?
I think there's gotta be. It's gotta have like the crazy barbed lettering. It's like you can't even fucking read the thing.
Metal lettering.
Next up, we got some
That
Cannibal
is
Corpse on the
so-
rock. After that, we've got Diphtheria.
That's so popular right now with like the underground metal bands. Is that obscured lettering?
We are bubonic plague. We are anal geyser.
No,
Can you imagine going to work like that?
Anal geyser?
dude, I got a sweet T-shirt with anal geyser on it, man.
You gotta have a hose that runs outside if you're gonna sit down, dude.
Oh.
Somebody refill my bucket, please, or empty it, please.
Owen. Anyway,
All right, April 5th, Weber invited two of her sisters-in-laws over for dinner.
sister-in-laws, right? That's plural.
Sisters-in-laws.
Oh, sister-in-law.
Sisters.
I feel like we're going around in circles. Vinny, what is it?
Littering and.
How the
littering
hell am I
and.
going to know?
All the sites I read said sisters-in-laws because it's plural. She's bringing.
I'll
two
bet
of
you
them
it's
over.
sisters-in-law.
That's what I thought it was.
Dip, 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 dip.
Don't try to dip your way out of this.
I wrote it plural because it said plural.
Plural.
There was an S on the website
So,
and I tied my shoe.
So,
So she invited her over for dinner,
Oh,
and
God.
the two ladies, not Jean, went out shopping.
ooh.
But they came back early. But they had left Jean home alone.
Like
not
Kevin
Kevin
McAllister.
Yeah, I was gonna say not Kevin McAllister. I knew you were going there.
Hello.
A delicious cheese pizza just for me.
What do you think they bought?
Hats.
Yeah,
Big
they
hats.
Big hats.
That was
and-
the huge style in the Victorian era. Why can't we talk today?
This is in 1905.
When's the Victorian era?
Not then.
I keep saying area.
Yeah.
Help me. They bought hats though. They had to have.
Yeah,
From the
say
mall?
probably dresses.
What does that
and
matter? Why do we care?
The mall.
They would have called it an arcade back then,
There is a sale at the fashion boutique.
or a boutique. Boutiques.
Yeah, that's
We
right,
have
too.
very many boutiques.
Target Boutique.
Maybe some flowers.
Anyway,
They went next to the Haagen-Dazs and the Sbarros and got baguettes.
we're really
Yeah.
just only speculating at this point.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Because we don't care about the murders at all. We want to know how they were shopping.
How did you guys pay? Did you have a credit card? Did you have any coupons?
They used francs.
Francs. Did you have any coupons?
Or is that Germany?
Coupons.
Send your corrections to. Anyway,
So none of us have been to France. So just to let you guys know, we are not cultured. in
I have
that
a book
area.
about France. That's about it.
I do not.
Oh,
So there
well
you go.
then.
Well, they came home early, and much to their surprise, they found Jean strangling her 10-year-old nephew Maurice.
Wow.
And she had this crazy expression on her face, which we'll hear often. And he lived. So good for Maurice. You made it, dude. You lived.
What would have been more disturbing is if she looked like just like nothing was happening, like just smiling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised she wouldn't because she's
Well-
a nut job.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, she was a sociopath, though. A lot of
She's
those people-
nuttier than a rat turd in a pistachio factory.
Oh, God.
I love pistachios. I do.
Why? Okay. You know what? I'm done.
The roasted salted kind of the shit.
But that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So she
so-
was strangling the kid, had a
Yeah.
strange, fucked
So
up look on her face.
They caught her.
Like she
The
was doing
kid
long
lived, the kid lived. We're good there. So those.
How old did that kid go to be?
He was 10. So
Which in those days was like 30.
yeah, probably. He probably had a job.
Dude, this is 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a difference.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Dude.
you were there and all, but
Yeah.
But you're not middle aged at 10 years old in any culture, like or
Some
have you,
you are.
have you read ancient Egyptian stuff?
wow. Okay, but 100 years ago you were not.
Maybe.
right?
I don't know.
You're probably.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
look
know.
it up.
Look at the life expectancy for 19.
Also, look how they shopped.
Yeah.
I want to know what the Egyptians bought besides frankincense.
Was there a? Well, how long? Macy's has been along since when?
Did they buy
Did you say
frankincense?
frankincense?
And myrrh.
Okay, so while
It
he's
don't
looking
make any
that
frankincense no more.
oh,
I hate you.
we are here all night.
I hate
folks.
you so
Do
much.
not fast forward. This is happening.
But while he's looking up what
Yes,
frankincense really
so
is.
her family filed charges against
It's a
her,
flower.
obviously, because they walked in and saw her trying to murder her nephew. And the trial opened up on January 29th, 1906.
Right.
The prosecutors alleged that, or the prosecution alleged that she had 8 murders under her belt at this point. 3 of her own kids, which I couldn't find anything on other than her son Michael, and then 5 of the extended family.
I found 1917, which is pretty close. For men, it was 48 years old, and for women, it was 54.
That's because we're better than you. Men.
Whoa. Shots fired.
Topical.
Oh. Sorry, what was that, Grandma? Oh. That's all she can say.
So, 2 of the other kids' names were Lucy and Marcel.
Lucy has explained it.
Nope, that was a dead
Oh,
baby.
man.
Don't say things
Don't
like
do
that.
that.
Dead babies. It was thought
But do it
that
again, though.
what?
Nothing good.
No, not appropriate, JP.
Lucy, Babaloo, I strangle you. Okay.
It was thought that Weber killed her son to mask and throw off suspicion of the other kids dying because they all said these kids were dying from the same
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Diphtheria and convulsions. So she was like, well, my kid died. 2 of these things.
Yeah, nothing covers up a murder like another murder.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what? If I just throw one of my own in the mix, no one's ever going to suspect.
Exactly.
It was me.
That's probably what she was thinking. But like I said, she was so manipulative. And she had this
She's a whore.
badassery defense lawyer named Henry Roberts.
Henry Roberts, attorney at law.
Yeah. This guy, he is the shit. Like,
He was there, Johnny Cochran.
yeah. He's no freaking joke. So this trial started on January 29th, like I said. This trial, she was acquitted on February 6th. Like, he was Henry in action.
He had shit to do.
He had a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
He's no Better Call Saul.
No.
He's not
no.
drinking.
No, he was not drinking.
He's
and,
like, ladies and gentlemen of the
and
court,
hiding money in the
let me
wall
ask you a
safe.
question. You think this woman has a possibility and the gumption to strangle these children? I don't think so.
And the jurors are like, well, if he says that, then no. Oh,
If the glove
muffle,
don't
muffle.
fit, you must bag it. And that's what I'm going to say. And then he walks out of the room and then puts his cigarette out on.
So he pretty much did exactly that because he made the jurors believe that there was no way that this sad, grieving mother,
Horror.
auntie,
Piece of
could
shit.
believe, be a bad person.
It was
Yeah.
the diphtheria.
So they gave her,
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
It was the diphtheria.
It was the diphtheria.
and the convulsions. And
the T apostrophe what? WS.
and it was the convulsions too.
It was the diphtheria
Yep.
that took the children.
Dip, 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 dip.
That's so stupid. All right.
They called her the. I'm gonna.
It's
God, can
you want
say
me
it?
you want me
Yeah,
to say it?
because I'm gonna. Oh, my readers.
My readers are broke.
They are. My
Here, keep
peepers.
going. Here, keep going, and I'll get it ready for you.
Okay, they gave her a nickname. I can't say it because I had like a half a semester of French, and I obviously didn't.
And all
carry
you learned was au fromage,
it.
the
Don't,
cheese.
Nope, don't even know what that is.
The
so
cheese.
I can.
I can count to 10 in French.
Cheese.
Yeah, I can count. Do some, not all, but So they gave her this nasty nickname, and then after the trial, her husband left her, so he's going to drink with someone else.
Absinthe.
Oh, I'm sure. And he's going to get drunk on.
All right. Jean Weber,
Mm-hmm.
La Gresse de la Goutte d'Or.
Okay. So that's that. Do you know what it means?
The Ogress of... No.
Oh, okay. So her name was the Ogress of No.
Here, I'll look it up.
Okay.
Is that N-O or K-N-O-W?
It's Cano. Cano.
Oh, this is all in French. I don't know how to read
Okay.
this.
All right. So that's her nickname. If you want
Speak American.
in France, yes. Thank you for the Statue of Liberty. We love her. In April 7th of 1907, so over a year has gone by. It's been quiet. She's been under the radar.
Natalie's giving the update of her.
Yep. She's been
She's been
shopping,
okay. She's been shopping for hats.
buying some hats and baguettes, and maybe a pretty dress.
A bag hat.
She has no husband, so she's a spinster at this point, I guess, in her life. And a physician from a town called Ville du. Yep.
Whoa!
See, I told you guys. He came from a town. We'll just say that was
A small fishing village.
no. He was called to a house by a woman named.
Oh, Goutte d'Or is a neighborhood in Paris.
Okay.
And she's the Ogress of Goutte d'Or.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So Goutte d'Or is a small suburb of Paris, and she was nicknamed that. Also, she was also nicknamed Madame.
That's in France.
Jesus
you.
Christ. She was also nicknamed Madame Moulinier.
Oh,
Real
well,
lady
we weren't-
Moulinier.
we weren't there yet, so we're good.
Oh.
We'll get to that nickname too. So,
So sorry to interrupt.
that's okay. So
Proceed.
So a physician was called by a woman named, I'm gonna say Bouvet, but that's probably wrong.
Bouvier?
No,
Like
Maybe
Marge?
that sounds right.
B-A-V-O-U-E-T.
In
Don't.
So however you want to say that.
yeah, Bouvet. Bouvet sounds right.
Okay. When he arrived, he found the babysitter there,
The baby
and
fiddle.
her name was Madame Molinet, and you ruined it
Son of
because
a
I was going
bitch.
to be like, and guess who it was?
Madame
Okay,
Maloney
okay.
and cheese.
So when he arrived there, he found the babysitter named, and her name was Madame Molinet, and he
Squeaky
also
chair.
found a 9-year-old boy named Auguste Bouvier.
Augustus Ballou.
Nope.
It's the same guy from the chocolate factory. He got stuck in the pipe.
Mom said, "Help me, too many sweets." Auguste Bouvier. He was dead on the cot, and his throat was slit. Or excuse me, and his throat was badly bruised. Excuse
Yeah, it
me,
was
not slit.
it's
I
not
apologize. I can't read my writing.
Of course.
He said the cause of death was convulsions, but then he found out that
Stop moving around.
the babysitter named Madame Moulet was actually, guess who? You already said it, Jean Weber.
I fucking ruined it.
You ruined it. And that was my big reveal. I even wrote big reveal.
That's okay.
Yeah. But what was weird is after she killed him, she cleaned him, and then she changed him in his best dressed clothes, which she's never done before. So I thought that was weird.
It's like maybe it was a what do they call that? What is it? What do they call it? Memento mori. Yeah, memento mori.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, maybe. That's not really her MMO. She just kills the kid and then fucking blames it on diphtheria. That's like that's like her MO. I don't understand why she did all that.
But I've never seen a report where she actually changed the clothes. And
That's what I'm
cleaned
saying.
The kids.
I
Do you think it's because she waited so long?
maybe
Maybe.
maybe
yeah.
she was trying to cover it up. Like, well, he was so well dressed, and we were about to go shopping for hats, and then all of a sudden, the diphtheria happened,
Yeah.
which isn't sudden. Diphtheria doesn't suddenly attack. It's an infection. It's a bacterium,
Yeah.
but it doesn't just attack you. You grow with it. You don't grow with it, but it grows on you. Hey,
So the doctor changed his diagnosis from that to this bitch killed him.
He writes it on the
I
report.
think that was written on the report. This bitch
He
killed
gets,
him.
He gets it on the bottom and he's just like, and this bitch killed him.
Yep.
The end. Dr.
So-
Bouvet.
So she hires badass defense lawyer Henry Robert again.
Henry Robert.
I wonder what he charged because
Let's look at the bus bench ads. Let's see him on there.
yeah, I don't think he needed.
He's got
that
like the
shit.
fight. He's got like the boxing
This
gloves
guy,
on. I'm ready to fight for you.
He's like Beverly Hills lawyer to the stars. Like he'll get you off on some shit. The trial was held over and she was out in December. So she got out again.
Just got out again.
Yeah.
Like not guilty, or did she plead insanity, or
It just says a second autopsy was performed and the boy's death was blamed on typhoid.
typhoid?
Yep.
I wonder if excuse me. God, I think I got the typhoid. Hold on.
I love typhoid. We will be doing Typhoid Mary.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's
a
Dan's
fun-
diphtheria.
Typhoid Mary is so much fun. We're definitely gonna do.
Okay, so typhoid's a fever,
Uh-huh.
and diphtheria is not a fever; it's a bacteria.
Yeah.
They
Don't
both-
don't spoil typhoid because we're doing it. Right.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Typhoid is oodles and oodles of fun poodles.
It's not fun to get typhoid.
No, the story of Typhoid Mary though.
I don't
I
like
love
it.
it. I love
I
true
do.
crime.
Have you guys heard of Typhoid Mary? Hello, where are you going with your plate?
Are they at a buffet? They're always at a buffet.
They are.
This chicken looks great. Hey, do you like strangulations?
Can you want to sit down with us?
Where are you
Hello.
going?
I think they're leaving.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. After being let go, she was able to get a job. This is fucky.
All right, Bubs.
Oh God. Even Bubs would be like, damn, what would Bubs
Something's
be like?
fucky.
Yeah.
Oh, these kids are getting strangled. And I don't believe that it's diphtheria. Fuck that. I think it's the winds of shit.
The winds of shit. Yeah. This is
Ricky.
just. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Everybody's sitting down.
I am. Vance, go ahead and sit down. There you go.
Okay. All right. She gets a job after she's let go from this.
The bread factory.
Nope. From
Okay.
Nope,
Where they make the
no,
baguettes.
she did
Okay.
not go to. The,
Sorry. Go ahead.
She worked at the Crafton Crunch factory.
If nothing else, it's good for your resume.
It is. It is.
She's the one who made Oops All Berries. Sorry, guys. All right, back on track.
Oh my god. All right. After she's let go from jail,
Vance is still laughing. All right, go ahead.
There's going to be a certain level of numbness that our listeners are going to have to acquire,
yeah,
I think, to keep tuning in.
it's an acquired taste. Like, oops. Oops all. What's it called? Oops all berries.
I think so.
Vance, go keep going with the story. We're gonna laugh.
Oh my god, my stomach hurts. Okay. Okay, so she gets a job from the president of the Society for the Protection of Children.
That's the worst name.
Because no, that's
say.
it. That was his title. The
It's like DHS or
president.
something. Like
the
Yeah.
Department of Homeland Security.
No. What's the Child Protective Services?
CPS.
DHS.
CPA. No.
Department
What
of
are
Human Services. I'm going to look it up.
Look up Oops All
Child-
Berries.
Child Protective Services.
That's CPS, not DHS. They're completely different letters. Hello.
Okay, so she gets a job from the president of the Society for the
Wow, I
Protect.
am really dumb.
Yeah.
Get back on track.
Okay. God damn it. All right. She gets a job from the president of the Society for the Protection of Children.
Yeah.
He is supposed to protect children
Yeah.
because her badass lawyer, Henry Robert, was so influential in the courtroom and he pulled some strings. Okay.
Like puppet strings.
I got no strings to hold me down.
Creepy.
She began
Sorry.
She began work at a children's home. Yes, she got a job at a freaking children's home in Ogreville.
That's ironic.
Yeah, that's literally like,
Waiting tables at Chuck E. Cheese.
yeah,
But that'd be somebody. No, it wouldn't work like that. That'd be like, man, I can't wait to wait tables for kids. And then somebody goes, you're so obsessed with that. And they go, I know, that's why I got this job at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, that's not the same thing as being a murderer of children and then getting in. Maybe it is the same thing.
Yeah. Or she'd be like, I can't wait to be the ball pit monitor.
Maybe she worked at Chuck E. Cheese prior.
She was the ball cleaner, the one that goes around with the wet wipes. And
What are you doing? Cleaning these
That ball
balls.
pit is disgusting. Why is it wet on the bottom?
I wonder if they ever clean those. I wonder who cleans those things. I wonder if it's a guy who shows up at 12 a.m. when the place is closed and he just has a ball.
Do you remember that story from the 90s where they were finding the
Heroin needles?
in the
Yep.
ball pit? And it was real. It wasn't.
Yeah, I got
This
pricked
was
one.
like
That's how I got AIDS.
pre-internet made up story. What?
That's how Dan got AIDS.
One of the ways. Anywho.
Okay. So
Nothing is sacred here.
So she gets a job at a children's home in Ogreville. She changes her name to Marie Lemon. She is caught choking a kid a
Jeez.
few days after she
She
started.
can't fucking help herself.
Yeah, she was like, all right, here's where I sign my paper check. Here's my W-2 information, my I-9. Here's my ID. Where are the children?
She's got one kid in her hand while she's writing out her initials.
Yeah, like, I can't wait to hang out with these little babes.
And I can't believe that after all, you would have thought also that her going through the court system, like I know nowadays if you have
Yeah.
like a felony or something like that, like that shit would be like a no-no. But as soon as they see all the courts, like I wonder if they looked back at that. Her being acquitted should still
No.
mean like
Because her Henry Robert was an amazing guy, and he was so influential that he got the president of the Society for the
He's
Protection
amazing.
of Children. He's amazing.
Henry Robert. I didn't think he'd come through, but he really did.
He pulled it off. He got her this gig. So he was so not Henry Robert, but the president Society for the Protection of Children was so embarrassed, he just fired her into the table and didn't report her choking out this
How
kid.
do you think
Oh
she
my
afforded
God.
the lawyer?
You know, that's one of the things about these like murderers from the early 20th century, early 19th century, how they got their money. Like that girl or the woman who killed her husbands as soon as she married him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's different because she took out the life insurance. Was she getting life insurance from these kids? One of them was even hers.
No,
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's a good question. How did she pay for that lawyer?
it doesn't.
And then
Same.
I wonder if, like, because she worked after that, she probably told her lawyer, look, if my name comes up in Google next to choking one fucking time, you're not getting paid.
He probably invented the Google, so he was like, I'll be sure of that because my name is Henry Robert.
I think it was
Yep, his name's
Some other
Henry
guy.
Robert. He did it.
Sergei Androv, I think his name
Henry Robert.
is. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so she got fired under the table. She was not reported for this murder or this choking, and she moved back to Paris.
With what money?
Well, she had a job for a few days.
That's not enough. At the bread factory, it's not enough.
She was arrested when she went back to Paris for vagrancy, and she was put
Makes
in
sense.
the Nanterre Asylum. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Nanterre Asylum, and she confessed to the murders, but then a few days later denied it, and of course was pronounced sane and let go
Again.
again.
So-
Fucking again.
Again.
So they put her in the puzzle factory because she was
Who says that?
like,
He does all the time.
Okay.
It's
Puzzle factory.
It's a Vinay thing.
I'm sorry, the insane asylum.
There you go.
And they put her in there because she was homeless. And then she admitted to killing these kids and then just changed her mind. So they're thinking, she must not have done it. Let's let her go.
Yeah, or she's fucking crazy. Maybe she made it up.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
fucking
Once
bitch is
again,
crazy. I don't know
she's
what's
a
going on.
manipulative sociopath. I said it right that time.
Sociopaths, man.
So here's
Terrible.
how she made some money. She became a prostitute.
With that face,
I don't think they were picky back then or now. I mean,
She-
if we're being honest.
man, that's this lady is just not good.
She sure didn't have a very good looking face, so I decided I was going to bag it.
Hey, got them all day. Hot ones coming at you.
Hot
mic.
baguettes.
Hot mic. She then took off with a railway worker named Emile Bookery.
Emilio.
Bookery.
Oh, Emile. May 8th, 1908. So we're getting close here. They got a room at an inn in Commercy. The inn was run by the Poirot family, and it's
Poirot.
Poirot. Poirot, Poirot family.
I bet it's Poirot.
Could be.
We'll call them the P family because
That doesn't sound right.
Okay, the Poirot. What did you say? Poirot.
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 Stop saying it.
Poirot.
It's losing its meaning.
God dang it! It sure
Poirot.
is. All right, she helped around the inn with chores, doing chores, and helping out the madam. Jean told Madame Poirot that her husband, the railway worker, they were not married, by the way. She said that they were
Yeah.
when they moved in, and she said that he would beat the shit out of her, and basically got her sympathetic ear, and said, "Hey, will you let your 10-year-old boy sleep with me in the bed to basically stop the beatings because he won't do it in front of your kid?" And Madame Poirot was like, "Absolutely. Here is my 10-year-old boy to sleep in
Wow.
in this stranger's bed. Here's his nightcap and his sleeping gown."
Cat.
Watch him closely, though, because I think he might be coming down with a touch of diphtheria.
Yeah. Dip, 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 dip.
It's not okay.
No.
Typhoid.
So one night, a guest named Madame Curlet, staying at the inn, heard noises coming from Weber's room. It sounded like a struggle. She went and found Jean strangling the boy with the handkerchief, and he was struggling. So
I bet.
obviously she killed him.
Oh, God.
Sad face. She's a stupid bitch. But
Stupid bitch.
this is where it gets good. She was
bitch.
finally caught
Good.
and found guilty for this murder.
Good.
Uh,
Finally.
Finally, she was actually found guilty. It wasn't that she was just caught. She couldn't
Did they
talk her
use-
way out of this shit.
Did they use DNA evidence?
Dina.
She works at the lab.
Yeah,
Dexter's
Dexter's
like, yeah,
lab.
who's this bitch?
October 25th, 1908, she was found out to be insane,
I bet.
and she was placed in a mental hospital in Moorville.
Where they have more insane asylums than people than anything.
Hello, welcome to our town.
Moorville. Insane.
In the membrane. Sorry, Henry Robert, not getting her off on this one, are you?
Oh, shucky dang darn.
So doctors studied her in the hospital and found that she was constantly in fits of frenzy and rage.
I bet.
And they think that maybe this has caused the murders. I think it's because she got caught.
Yep.
Because, like, oh, you're only sorry you got caught.
Nothing would piss anybody off more than being caught for murdering
I just
children.
need to get out of here, and I need to choke somebody.
Well, she kind of does something like that, only she doesn't get out.
Ooh, tell us.
So
Dude.
there's actually...
Tell us, mummy.
Mom.
Mama. Mama.
In this one, I've read that she killed 8 children. And on another site, I read she killed 10. And then another one said as many as 20.
And then another one.
So this is what I got here. We'll call this the choose your own adventure. So I got
Telltale Games.
I got 2 different stories, 2 different dates of death, and then 2 different types of death.
It's like the ending of Clue.
Right.
And this is how it really happened.
John Cleese.
We should have people email in with what they think would have been cool endings. Basically.
Yeah.
Like a vote on these 2 or just a new
No,
one in
just
general?
new ones
Oh,
in
okay.
general.
She
yeah.
turned into candy and learned how to fly.
Num num.
Would it be funny if she came back as one of those resuscitation dolls? Thing?
Or she came back as a handkerchief.
The one Dwight cut the face off of in
Oh.
office.
And he put it on his face.
We only have precious seconds.
So on another site, I read she married a man named Paul Molinet.
That guy's an idiot.
He was not a railway worker, but he did have a job as a criminal.
What's that look like?
The resume?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what do you do for a living, Mr. Molinet?
Well, I'm not a railway worker, but
No,
I'd
that's
love
good.
to choke you.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, we were going to hire you, but we're going to go with our next best one.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
But I
But I choke people.
Do you guys have 401k?
Well, what kind of criminalities did he do?
It didn't say. So we can make
Well,
those up.
then.
He
stole
baguettes.
He fucked up the Oops Called Crunchberries factory.
He fucked up the.
He made them all into pillows.
Wait, what?
Yep. This guy's a badass.
Is that a criminal thing
You
to
turned
do,
the
or was he?
Crunchberries into pillows?
Yep.
I don't think that's a crime.
That's my theory.
I don't think that's a crime
And
at
I'm
all.
sticking to it.
Elaborate on that.
Oh, no.
No. I don't think that's a crime. I think that's sheer genius. And it wasn't a inn that they were staying at. It was a hostel. And I concur that is a stupid movie. Yeah.
That movie's not bad.
That movie is.
I've never seen it.
It is
pretty good. It's got a lot
Okay, it
of-
would have been good, but it was like a porno.
Well,
So-
it's kind of the point to glamorize
Why?
violence in the movie.
Dan liked it.
No, yeah. Ugh, gross. That's my brother.
What?
That's my brother.
Stop it.
Both stories did say that this was her last kid and that she was caught and that she did go to the insane asylum in Moorville.
Moorville.
In this one, though, it wasn't that guest that walked in on the room that Madame Curlay. It was the father of the child, and he had to punch her in the face 3 times.
As soon as you said punch.
I know. Punch her in the face 3 times to release the child. And it didn't work because the child was unfortunately dead.
That's the sad part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be funny if that was one of, like, if she was one of the characters off of Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Ding, ding, ding.
She goes up, she's like, dude, dude, and you're whap, whap, whap.
And then the star punch.
She just gets up and starts fucking strangling little Mac.
TKO.
TKO.
Mario's the ringleader, but he's not from France. It's okay. So-
Thanks for joining my roster on my video game. I hope you don't choke me. I will destroy you.
That would be like her Mortal Kombat finishing movie. She just chokes you so
Strangle
hard
him.
she rips the head off.
She just throws a box of
Did she
Crunchberries at
kill
him.
any adults or was it all
Nope,
kids?
all kids.
Because they were probably, they're like I said, they're probably easy to kill.
Yeah.
It's like, they were
Yeah, we
weak,
talked about it earlier.
and she was small.
Yeah, she was mon petite. Oh, look at me in my front.
So you nailed that one.
Nailed it. No. Somebody said on a show the other night. That's the only reason why I knew it.
La petite.
Anywho's, I have 2 different dates of death for her. One, on the first adventure, she died in 1910.
That's when you hit A.
On the second adventure,
That's X.
she died in 1918. So she sucks some more life out of that X adventure.
I like to just imagine that she died twice.
I like to imagine
Yeah.
my strangler as a woman with a tuxedo shirt on. Says, "Look, I'm ready to party."
Amen.
But I'm here for business too.
She also had 2 different yet similar types of death. In our first adventure, she died of.
You gotta stop saying that. It's
No,
killing
I like
me.
it. I like it.
our
She
first
died of
adventure-
self-strangulation, which means that she literally strangled herself to death by putting her 2 hands around her neck and strangling so hard she dug her fingernails into her person and just asphyxiated herself.
And isn't it ironic?
Yay!
Don't you think? It's like strangling.
And on the second adventure, she hanged herself.
Is it
But-
hung or hanged? I think it's hanged.
Hanged
right?
if it's a person, hung if it's a picture. Because I already screwed that up earlier. So you're welcome, audience.
Hang it.
Hang it, it did.
Hang it did.
Do you think she went down and hanged herself? We's gonna have ourselves a hanging. Boy, it's gonna be me though. I'm gonna hang myself, have some sweet tea.
Oh, some sweet tea. Y'all want some sweet tea?
That's
That's
gonna be
gross.
awesome.
I don't
Yeah.
like sweet
Me
tea.
either.
Ugh.
It's like drinking syrup.
Brown sugar water.
You guys gotta stop getting off topic.
Well, that was it. That's the end of the story.
Oh,
So
okay.
she was a horrible piece of poo, and I'm glad that she's
And a whore.
Yeah, she literally was a prostitute.
Prostitute.
Prostitution.
She's a big old bitch.
Yeah, well, she's gone now. Sad face for the little kids that she killed. Fucking bitch. But, we don't have to put up with her anymore back in 1918.
Can you imagine her Facebook profile?
Yes.
It's
She
just-
still has her Facebook, so.
It's just that fucking picture of her looking like a potato.
Oh.
And then, like, all of her, there's like 0 friends.
Gimme baguette. Meh.
Why is she so tiny?
It's a little potato voice.
That's like one of the little. What was that movie called with all the little? Damn it! They're like little fairies, and they lived in the wall. John Goodman was in the movie.
Oh,
little
Son of a bitch.
people.
I like that movie.
Is it the Littles?
No,
The Littles. That was it.
no, The Littles was a cartoon. That was similar to this. It was a World Wide Web is amongst all of us here. People are
is
screaming at
amongst
their.
Probably. Send corrections to, hey, Vinny, how can they get a hold of us, by the way?
Well, it's funny you should ask, Dan, because
Oh.
I was just
I'm
getting
gonna look
ready
at
to
that
suggest,
movie while you guys are looking that up.
I was just getting ready to suggest that they email us at don'tlookunderthebedpodcast@gmail.com or check out our website, don'tlookunderthebed.net.
Uh-huh.
We're also on Twitter at DLUTB.
Yo,
Check us out on SoundCloud. Just search Don't Look Under the Bed Podcast.
sounds good.
And Facebook.com/Don't Look Under the Bed Podcast.
And if you want to check out my podcast, Don't Look Under the Podcast. Going live in 5 seconds.
Oh, on what?
Hi, we're here at the... We're
my
outside
God.
of my home. And there's a sun out.
We're inside still.
No, you maybe. I'm not.
How long ago was that movie?
1997?
Six.
I don't fucking know.
God damn, it wasn't that old, was it?
I don't know. I just know it had John Goodman in it.
John
And a bunch of little dudes.
Hence why I brought it up.
John Goodman was in The Hangover Part 3.
I never saw it. I didn't even see number 2.
He was in Argo. That was a good movie.
Argo was a great movie.
I love John Goodman.
You guys got
Oh,
stuck getting
God,
off
Red
topic.
State.
This is ridiculous.
I know. I'm trying to find that movie.
Red State's a good movie too.
That was a weird
A
movie.
lot of people
Red
didn't like
State?
it.
Yeah,
I
I
love
liked
that
it.
movie.
Well,
Kinda
we gotta talk about those. We gotta talk about that movie a little bit.
It was
Yeah.
almost, it was almost too realistic though. Like when they shot that guy in the head, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Balls.
That's yeah. But the best thing about the movie is there's an actual phenomena that, well, it's not a phenomenon because it's explained.
Phenomenon.
But all those trumpet sounds though, we should get into that.
Those
we should
horn-
get.
yeah.
The WAP show.
Yeah,
It's-
save it if we're going to do a shoe beauty.
Oh well, then audience, you just have to wait for my answer, or you can just look it up because
I
it's on
can't
the
find this
web.
dang
So.
rootin'
That's-
tootin' movie.
That's my wife's nice way of saying, "Shut up."
No, I wanted you to save it.
Save it.
I can't find this movie. It's
Well-
gonna come to me as soon as I hang up my headphones and be like, ah, shit. I remember it now. Sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Sweet tea and apple pie.
My friend was asking why. He goes, "Why is it?" The only reason why I don't like British shows is because everything's in Britain. Like when it comes to like dramas and stuff. I'm like, wait, hold on, what? And he goes, no. What I mean to say is like every time there was like a Shakespearean play or any of this stuff, like a movie, it's always in like British dialect, and I'm like, or British accent. I'm like, that's because like people they can't have an American one. Like
Yes, they
it
can.
doesn't work. It'd be like, to be or not to be. That is the question. Like a bunch of fucking Jeff Foxworthy's running around with like pantaloons and shit.
You
It wouldn't
might be a
happen.
dead king if.
I was like, plus back then that was
The
like
borrowers. Thank you.
borrowers.
Thank you.
Wow.
I got really excited.
jumped up.
Thank you, Internet. World Wide Web.
And I was like, yeah, but you can't have, a Shakespearean play with like some Tennessee or Mississippi.
Or even New York.
Yeah, like to
Be or not to be? That's the question.
That's a fucking question
That's
right
the
here.
fucking question.
Oh,
Forget about
why
it.
is it's not all Italians. It can't be all Italians in New York.
Yes, there is. I've been there. I know what it's like on those streets. You get your pizza, and you walk around with your pizza, and you get a hot dog. It was a long time ago
Do you
that I
eat the
went there.
pizza?
Oh, fuck yeah, that pizza's good up there.
Like Sbarro. Anyway,
Yes, Michael.
this has been the Don't Look Under the Bed podcast for all things comedy and horror. Thanks again for listening. Once
Yes.
again, I am Dan Wonder. Next to me is,
Natalie Rose.
and next to her is.
I'm Vinny Rose.
And thanks again for listening. Bye. Don't strangle anybody.
No.